do things better than men in almost every way. And it's mainly for one reason. This business, it's all about EQ.
Yeah.
It's an amazing opportunity for women to explore their fullest potential and not have to give up on those other jobs, that we don't care about the businesses we're in, that we only care about revenue and profit.
Hello everybody. Today I'm truly honored to be speaking with Ryan Napierski, the Global President and CEO of Newkin, a visionary leader who has dedicated years to building people-first solutions and is a true champion of women empowerment across the world. Ryan, thank you for joining us.
So hello Ryan, thank you for giving us time this afternoon. I'm quite excited to talk to you about
I am as well, Neha. I mean, this is an amazing opportunity to sit with you here in India, in Mumbai, to talk about the future.
I think I'm equally excited because of course, your role in Newkin, and other than that, I've seen that you're very passionate about empowering women. In fact, all your socials are talking about it, and I've seen that you empower a lot of women globally through your network, through your work. If I have to really ask you, what does women empowerment personally means to you, and how is that? Has it really impacted your leadership? Has it shaped your leadership? If you can take us through it.
Well, absolutely. In fact, the mission of Newkin Enterprises is to be a global force for good by empowering people to look, feel, and live better lives. So it truly is at the heart of this company that I've been at for more than 30 years of my life. I can tell you that in the 50 markets where we do business today, female empowerment is a major staple of our business. Depending on the market, we're either 60% women all the way to 90% women in some of our countries.
So I was talking on a panel 3 days back, and they asked us that if women can do it all, and I told them that we're 50% of the population in India, and the rest 50% we've given birth to.
That's exactly right. No, and that's just it. I mean, the reality is that the world needs masculine and feminine energy. The nature, the nurture, those roles are so important, but over decades and centuries, the role of the nurturing role has been misguided, I believe, and women have not had the same opportunities as men, something that we're very passionate about. So it's very vital for us, for our mission as a company. It's central to everything that we do through our commercial endeavors. Our Force for Good charitable endeavors are very female empowerment focused.
Ren, you have a very strong impact of women in your personal life also. Yes. Do you want to talk about it?
I do. I'll probably get emotional. So I have 3 children. I have a daughter, 26, a son who's 22, and a daughter who's 19 years old. And these two girls are truly my pride and joy. They're everything that I do, and they're the lens that I see the world through. They are highly empowered, professional, educated, powerful women who are going to change the world. And it's my job as their father and as CEO of this company to build a world where they can maximize that mission and their impact on that world. And so it's something that is central to just my core. It's how I see the world. It's what this company must be able to deliver to society.
So it's personal as well as professional mission for you. And as we all know, the good news is that Newkin is finally entering India, and it's a powerful moment that we're together with you. In fact, I think it's your 01 or day 1 here, and I'm quite excited to talk to you about it. As a CEO and a leader who's leading from the front, what is your vision for Newkin, especially when it comes to empowering Indian women?
Well, I'll tell you, the first time I came to this country was in 2004, and I had been sent here by our CEO at the time to investigate the market, to determine is the market right for Newkin and is Newkin right for the market. And I returned from that trip after spending about a week here, realizing that we were not ready as a company to have the impact that we needed to have in India. And so we went to work. There were several key initiatives that we knew we had to get underway. And then there were things that we had to see in the market in order for us to be successful. We had just started to get into digital technologies at the time. If you think of Facebook had just been born in 2004-ish. And we were just starting that journey, and we realized we weren't where we needed to be. We realized our product development strategies, our philosophy was right, all of the good ingredients, none of the bad, but the actual ability to participate in the market the way we needed to was not ready. So our digital, our product strategies, all of that wasn't yet in the place that we needed to be. And so we prepared. And about 7 years ago, as I came back to become the company's president, I was returning from Japan. I spent 10 years as president of our Japan business. One of the first trips I made back was to India to assess the market.
Again.
And we started to prepare for that market, and over the next 2 years, COVID hit. And COVID stopped us. And at the time, I was very frustrated because we were planning to go in earlier. However, it was a blessing in disguise because during that same period of time, Prime Minister Modi had gone in and begun to develop a digital-first ecosystem and an empowerment model for the country itself. And so in 2022, when we were able to get back here again for my third trip, it was that opportunity where we realized we were ready and the market was now ready. And so we put our team together and formally started to work on the plan daily with people invested here. And here we are 3 years later, and we're underway. So we're ready to go. A lot of preparation.
So as they say, everything happens in a good time and for a good reason. So I think this is the moment. Ran, I've seen your journey. You've been in multiple countries. You've got a global experience. I also see that, you talked about your daughters and you talked about, your passion for women empowerment. If you have to see or, highlight some strength you see in women, of course we are yin and yang, you talked about the energy, balance. What are the strengths you see in women, and particularly if I have to talk about moms as leaders or entrepreneurs, do you see any potential there? If yes?
Yes, I can't speak about women without speaking about my mother, who passed away. She passed away during COVID, but she was the most intelligent woman that I've ever known.
Wow.
She, at a very young age, without a college degree, went and worked as the assistant to the dean of the Stanford Law Department.
Amazing.
Just a very smart woman, always writing. She journaled, she wrote poetry, she wrote a children's book before she passed. But
so
my
she was
mother,
active till COVID. Oh my God.
But she never had that opportunity to express her full capability and potential because the world just didn't allow for it at the time. When you think about the 60s and the 70s and 80s in the United States, women were predominantly stay-at-home mothers. And she raised 8 wonderful children, with the exception of me. And her legacy lives on through us. But she had so much more that she could have given if society would have allowed for that. And so for me, I look today and the business we are in of empowering people, and particularly women, with this opportunity. I feel like we have this opportunity that my mother needed, but it wasn't there for her. And I see there's just such an opportunity there. I think women do things better than men in almost every way. And it's mainly for one reason. Men are innately built with an ego. And that ego prevents us and limits our ability to really express ourselves emotionally. We tend to be more cerebral, but we know we're human. Like the connection that we feel is all human, and that's natural for women. It's that natural connection, that nurturing, and giving birth, raising children, devoting a whole life to that process. While of course men are fathers and we have an important role to play, the literal connection that the mother has through the umbilical cord of the baby is unmatched. And I feel like this is the opportunity that we have with Newskin, because we are a human-to-human business. At the end of the day, it is all about people empowering people. The company, we build amazing technologies, amazing products. Without people, they sit in a warehouse. And so I look at this and I think the natural innate capability of women who can do everything you're an engineer, right? I mean, you can do the math, you can do the science. STEM is growing here in India. So that's there. But in addition to that, the emotional, the EQ is so much higher. And I feel like in this business, it's all about EQ. It's an amazing opportunity for women to explore their fullest potential and not have to give up on those other jobs of raising their children, of providing for their families in those ways. This model enables that, as opposed to a corporate environment where you may have to choose where are you spending your time. This business, everyone does it from their home. They're able to do it where in their communities.
I think that's an incredible opportunity, because leading a community of mothers, I've seen, and a lot of them very talented. When they give take a sabbatical after their child's birth, they don't go back to corporate world, and a lot of them even lose their confidence in doing something else. I think they all, especially the stay-at-home moms, they are always on a lookout for financial independence. They want to do something while they are taking care of their baby, and an opportunity like this, I think, is incredible, because they can do everything from their phone.
That's literally.
It's a digital first India with tech.
I was out in Atlanta, Georgia, in the United States, just a few weeks ago with a group of 34 professional women who have just become mothers. So their kids ranged from 5 years old to newborns, and they were at this home, and so I went out to meet with them, and they were the sharpest group of women. They'd grown up with professions. Most of them, some of them were stay-at-home moms, but the majority of them had professions, and they left the professions to have the baby. And then they came across Newskin, and the goal was to just utilize Newskin for that 2-year period while they work to get their child on and go back, and they're not going back. They're all doing it at home because they're loving their experience. They're gaining new skills, new capabilities. As you said, they're doing it from their home, in their living room, still raising their child. And one of them, in fact, I did a podcast with one of my favorites out of Mexico City, and she said, Ryan, well, why would I ever go back, right? Why would I go back? She was actually a buyer for the largest department chain in Mexico.
Wow.
And she loved it, but she said, I'm having so much more fun, I'm learning more things, and she's 4 months pregnant. I'll be able to stay at home with my.
I personally feel, Ran, globally, like I've seen that mothers, all the places, they're same. Mothers are all the way same. Like I still remember when in year 2017 we were just 70,000 mothers, and Sheryl Sandberg, the CEO of Facebook, spoke about us. She still has that note on her timeline talking about a community, and our community has a tagline called "Ek break to banta hai," which means, for mothers, me time is very critical. And I think when you were talking about nutrition, wellness, which Newskin is passionate about, you were talking about women's health also. I think as mothers, as nurturers, we take care of our families first, and we put ourselves last.
That's right.
So what's your take on that? Because you've built some amazing wellness products. I think this is health in a pocket. I'm about to talk to your product head also, and I was just equating it to iPhone for wellness.
Yes. It is so much. So I live by the philosophy. When you're sitting in an airplane, and the flight attendant gets up, and he or she typically does, and she brings the air mask out. She says, in case of an emergency, put your air mask on first.
Oh my God.
Every woman I speak to says, I would put it on my child first. Every man I speak to says, I'm putting it on first. We need to take care of ourselves first in order to be whole for others. And women innately sacrifice themselves for their children, which I think is my mother did.
All of us.
For all of her growing up, and I respect it, and I'm grateful she did that. But if there was a model that enabled a woman to care for herself and care for her family, it would be ideal. And that's Newskin, right? It allows for us to do this. This device, when we first came up with this PRYSM IO, we took it out to a focus group of men and women, and we learned something about this technology in PRYSM. We had previous technology for 21 years called the biophotonic scanner, which was predominantly men. And it was a large device. You take it into a doctor's office, and people scan themselves, and the patients come in, or you take it to a fitness center or whatever. And so men did it predominantly. So we take it into the focus group, we set it down, and we had the men and the women sitting around it, and the men all looked at it and said, oh, this is great. I can take it more places. I can place it. It was one of our top leaders. She looked at this and she said, I can set this on our dinner table and scan each of my children when they eat their dinner.
Wow.
Nobody's ever done the scanner that way.
Health in your pocket.
So since then, we've been actually building out different personas. Of course, we're looking at the fitness person, the biohackers, the medical professionals, all of that. Yes, we're also looking at mothers, female health, and women's health, and family. Because the mother brings this in for her children. And unfortunately, our children are being raised today on terrible food, right? Processed food, overly processed food, junk foods, and they need to know their nutrition. And it was because one of the mothers looked at this and said, I would put this on the dinner table, that opened up the whole opportunity for us that we didn't realize.
I think this excites me so much that after, say, 3 years down the line, I might come to you and say, Ryan, we need something only for moms.
That's
and
right.
We've got to produce
That's
something
right.
just for
That's
the mothers
right.
as well.
We're already working on it. So, yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. I hope you found this conversation super interesting and super insightful. I had a wonderful time talking to these amazing leaders. If you want to know more about this opportunity, you can follow us or join our network. How to do that? Just click on this link or scan the QR code below and you'll get all the details. I invite you all to be a part of New Skin family. And here I am, Neha Kanabar, tuning in for all of you to give you a little more insight in this incredible brand which has entered India just now.